Hey, good morning, everyone. I appreciate you meeting with me this Sunday. This video is going to be about forgiveness. And for those of you who have been watching my videos in the last week, we all know that I came to the realization of where I come from. And I believe last night, I came to the full realization of where I came from. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is talking about discussing, how it's sometimes we experience things in our lives that create a lot of trauma, sadness, depression, just literally winds us down to almost reducing us to like this zero feeling to where we just wish we didn't exist, okay? But that's not how I'm feeling. Honestly, I can tell you that I actually feel pretty good. And especially in the last few days, it's not the fact that it is kind of the fact that I have this like really cool ancestor, but a lot of it is just through the course of time, all the videos that I've made, that I'm able to move on. So, as everyone knows, I'm not the daughter of James Calvin Gordon. That was the man that I knew and loved and adored all my life. My adoptive father knew who I was, based on the understanding that I'm receiving, that he did know who I was. He knew when he was adopting me. And I do recall him supporting me when I told him that I was interested, or when I experienced supernatural experiences. He always believed me. He never said that I was lying. He always seemed like he was willing to accommodate me in my fear. And he sincerely demonstrated that. Like, I'm somebody who I can, even as a child, I can detect whether somebody was sincere or not. And I do remember him smiling when I took an interest in studying religion. I mean, I think he understood by observing me that I was coming into what I was meant to be. Now, although at times he did express anger or frustration towards me, I recall many good times with him, and I truly believe that he was an intelligent man who did the best that he could. The struggle to survive and raise a family is not easy. I mean, I fully get it. And I appreciate all the times he expressed his love towards me, and I believe that at times that he showed that affection, it was completely sincere. And as for my adoptive mom, Mary Louise Daniels Gordon, I believe that she was just a lost person. And like many people, she had hopes for a good life and became disheartened by the everyday struggles that we experience here on the earth, which I call hell, right? And rightfully so. I can kind of laugh at her attempts to kill me. Seriously, I was kind of giggling about it in my in my living room last night. It's not that I think that it's a cool thing, because it's not, but you know what it is? It's me showing empathy. Like, I fully understand. I can understand from her point of view how she must have felt towards me. She had a family member who had psychic gifts, which I thought that I was related. I thought that was one of the confirmations of me being related to them, because I know that her mother, or not her mother, one of her sisters had psychic gifts, and she obviously felt really uncomfortable with it in her house. And to bring a kid into her house with that and more, because I remember I would talk to my mom about serious things. I would try to, and she would like get freaked out. Like, I remember talking to her about her mom dying, right? I was asking her questions and about the afterlife, and she was just like, that's enough. I remember her getting angry with me. So, I freaked her out. And I do remember her that there were times where she was fun and she was lovable, and she did express affection to the best of her ability. And so both of my adoptive parents have passed away, and they mostly wanted, I know they wanted this to be kept secret from me, probably forever. I don't think they ever had any intentions of letting me know. But of course, being who I am, I'm going to find out. So the little love that my adoptive parents showed me, it was greatly appreciated, and I value it, and I do forgive them. In my mind, it's kind of a rather humorous story, because I can imagine people short on cash and they're like, hey, you want a kid? But anyway, in this world, we're not really promised anything. So whatever love that someone shows you, however small it is, I mean, you take it and you grab it and you hold it and you appreciate whatever you get. We really are not promised anything in this world. So I appreciate them and I love them. I do love them, even though they've caused me so much pain. Even, I would say my mother did, okay? But I would be the first if I had the ability to intercede on her behalf, which I do pray for my mother, and I pray for her soul all the time. And that just goes to show you I care. Because if I didn't care, but then again, I pray for everyone's soul. But for some reason, I would not want my mother to suffer. Really, I wouldn't. I would never do anything for my mother to suffer here in this world or any other world. So, yes, I moved on, and I think, and really, I am. I've moved on, and I'm not feeling any negativity towards my family. Or I would say my parents. Okay, my siblings. That's a whole other story. Okay, now, no parent has the exact solution on how to discipline children. Each child is unique and has different needs. And many times, people are just simply following the examples of their parents. This includes spanking out of frustration and, with the child walking away with no lesson really learned, except for that he can get hurt if he does something wrong. If he messes something up, then this is the action that's going to end up happening. What really needs to, the definition of discipline is the training that corrects, molds, or perfects the mental facilities or the moral character. And a lot of times I think parents fall short of that. And so I think a lot of parents do. And I think that lessons and morals should be taught to children in a way that they can understand. It's not it's not through a fist. It's not through a branch or a tree. It should be, the discipline should be that they should fear growing up in a low vibrational state. They should fear that not so much the hand or the fist or the tree branch that's going to spank their ass. It should be the fact that they don't want to grow up in a state, a condition where they have criminal behavior, or they lack empathy, because these people are the kind of people that destroy society as a whole by spreading this sort of energy and behavior. In a conversation that I just recently had, I explained that I think it's important to teach that suffering is a fact of life, and to respect others, and to what I was saying is that in a conversation that I recently had, I explained that it was important to teach children that suffering is a fact of life, and to respect others, to teach them to not to prevent, suffering. I'm reading a script, okay, and obviously I'm really not good at it, okay, but I was going through my mind this morning, like, how should I make this video? And I was going to do it in segments the way I should have done, but Maria, she's all over the place, okay? That's my downfall, so please forgive me. But instead of telling a child to say that they're sorry or apologize for their wrongdoing, they should fully understand the suffering that they're causing. And a lot of times people don't understand what they're doing, and I don't believe that my family fully understood what they were doing. I think a lot of people don't fully understand the actions that they take and the result of it. We can all remember breaking a window of a neighbor as a child, but I at the time, I didn't think about whose property I was damaging. Like, I remember breaking somebody's windshield, and I know that I've had cracks on my windshield before, and it's pretty upsetting when you figure out that you got to pay for that, right? But the kid doesn't understand that. They think they're just having fun, or they don't think about how it damages the other person. Like, does this person have the funds to pay for this replacement window? Do children understand do they understand the importance of earning that money, to how hard it is to earn that money? Not just like getting up every day, but all the struggles that go along with making that money. I mean, there's a lot of pain that goes into existing in general, and I think that if a kid is taught that from a very young age, maybe that would make society a little bit better, I guess. Anyway, I wanted to say a few words about Ruby Frank. I know that she's getting a lot of heat and being called a bad parent. And for those of you who may point the finger at this woman, can you honestly say that you're not guilty in some way of making bad decisions when it comes to raising your kid? I mean, have you ever yelled at your kid just because you were busy? Have you ever have you inadvertently emotionally abused your kid? I think, and think that you were doing the right thing. You know, I do recall seeing a video of a parent who filmed their punishment, the child's punishment, online, and then posted it online. And what they thought they were doing was showing the world that they were a good parent. Maybe they thought that they were disciplining this kid by shaming them, but what they did was they scarred this person for life. Do you ever discipline your kids in front of others in hopes of to try to demonstrate that you're a good parent? Ruby Frank is just a human being, and she's capable of making mistakes, and like many others, has probably experimented with disciplinary actions that cause more harm than good. And I've seen comments about her being accused of exploiting her children. I'm not saying that she's not, but unless someone can say that they have perfected their parenting skills and have never made any mistakes of raising their children, they really don't have the right to belittle this woman. Now, I recall living in neighborhoods while raising my son, and I remember overhearing conversations about, because I lived in some pretty bad neighborhoods when I was raising my son. Unfortunately, we didn't make a lot of money when he was little, but so there was a lot of welfare women that they were there, and they would talk about how they're going to get, because they were pregnant, I'm going to get a little bit more extra money for this kid, and I was thinking in my mind, what a shame, that they would be this way, but these same welfare women are probably the same people who are the first to bag on Ruby Frank. So I'm basically saying is, we point the finger at the things that other people do, but there's so many other people who are doing something similar, and they need to look at that. They need to really think about, do I have any right to talk? I'm very grateful that Ruby Frank is still alive, and the reason why is because she has a chance to do better. And so do the welfare mothers and those people who, take in foster kids only to line their pockets with money. So today is a good day to forgive our parents for the mistakes, and ourselves if we've cast judgment on other people, especially Ruby Frank. Let's take some time to forgive yourself if you fall short of being the ideal parent as well. And if you've struggled to move on from an issue, take a piece of paper and write down what hurts you. Write it out as much as you can, but you got to put it all on one piece of paper. And I think it's important to dwell on that for 3 consecutive days, as long as you need to. This is your morning process. Just look at that piece of paper after you read it, you wrote it down, and you read it, and you can throw your temper tantrums. You can cry all you want to. Do it the next day. And the next day, you're going to get pretty tired of it. And the last day, if you have a fire, barbecue grill outside, take that piece of paper and burn it. Take the ashes and let the wind blow it away. Okay, this is a way of you forgetting, moving on with your life. So I think that forgiveness is basically, in my opinion, is just simply understanding that humans are not perfect. So I wanted to do a couple of intuitive readings. I did write these down earlier today. It looks like some of my childhood friends, they miss me, and it all makes sense to them now. Well, thank you. And I do think about some of the kids that I used to know. I was giggling to myself a few days ago about we used to have these games that we played in English class. And, I want to apologize for the quality of this video. I really, really did. But I kind of threw it together at the last minute. I'm really, really, sensitive about, producing good work. But, and on the top of it, I don't have I need a double monitor. So, when I'm doing videos, I could read my scripts and look in the camera, okay? But unfortunately, I don't have that dual screen, so I'm just doing the best I can. I'm really embarrassed about it, but oh well. Especially when I consider the people who watch my videos, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Okay, so anyway, yeah, my childhood friends think about me. Yeah, I do think about that. So anyway, the story about Mr. Muller's class in English, we would have these games that we would play. And I don't know, I think it was like a word scramble or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, I was always the kind of kid that would throw out stupid shit, just dumb shit, because I like to ruffle other people's feathers. I thought it was funny, and I would give people the wrong answers, even though I was on their team, because I thought it was funny just to see us lose. I remember there word, right? And I remember telling this kid, he was like, they were like, what is, we're all talking about, like, what could it be? What could it be? And I remember saying big Jello. And he told the teacher, hey, big Jello. And we ended up like losing. It was funny. I thought it was hilarious. Of course, they didn't think it was. Also, people were telling me that my mom loves me. I think that my mom did, in her own way, love me. I just think that she hated the fact that I had supernatural abilities and that I could look right through her, and that my intelligence always intimidated people. And I think that that's exactly how she felt. And you know what? I'm at peace with my mom. I do, through my meditations, I do believe that her soul is at peace. Okay. I do believe that there is a way that you can pray for people and their souls, but you know, I don't know for sure. You know, I'm like, I want to see confirmation of that, but you know, I'm not ready to. You know, I haven't been called into that yet. So whatever the case is, you know, I do remember the good times with my mom, and I do love her. I can't help it. I do. Whatever we do. Okay, so anyway, people look at me as a successful content creator. Thank you. You would never know it by this video, and I know it's sloppy, and I'm sorry. And yes, it is Sunday, and Sunday to me is a very beautiful day, and I try to do everything right and wonderful and be successful, because Sunday is a day of success. I believe that it is. And unfortunately, in my opinion, this video is not doing too well, but thank you. Apparently there's like social parties and gatherings around me, and I'm unfortunately not being a part of these social gatherings and parties. Unfortunately, I'm sitting here by myself, and all these people are having a good time, once again at my expense. But you know what? I hope you guys are having a good time. You know, I miss having going to parties. I haven't done that in a long time, and I've dreamed of like wearing a beautiful evening gown. There's like this evening gown that I've like wanted to wear forever, and I've never had any opportunity to do that. I'm like, oh gosh, you know, my life is so boring. But I want one of those nice, sleek, black, elegant evening gowns with a very low back. And of course, I'm going to wear the hair. You know, I'm going to wear my hair, right? Because that's just like, you know, it's a finishing touch. But I want to wear some nice heels, a nice clutch bag. You know, I would love to have like a nice social party, but unfortunately I don't have a social life, so I guess that's not going to happen. Oh, you know what? I also had a vision of this man that I used to know. He was a friend of my father's, Andy Kramer. I have not forgotten you. I have not forgotten you, Andy. I think about you sometime a lot, especially in the last few days. And I do remember you were very affectionate and you were very kind to me. And I do remember your daughter, and I do remember your wife vividly. Thank you. I hope you're doing well. Also, companies are willing to have me advertise their products, and I think that's really cool. I was thinking, because there's some video ideas. I have so many ideas that I'm working on, and in my videos that I'm going to be doing on Patreon, I am going to be teaching the magical benefits of food, talking fruits, vegetables. Yes, even meat has valuable energies. For people like Paul McCartney, who is a vegetarian, he can skip those, but I will say meat is getting pretty goddamn scary these days. But food is important, and I also think that how we prepare the dishes and food and present them makes a big difference. So I was hoping that I could reach out to certain companies that produce certain kinds of like decorative. What I'm looking for is like something that looks celestial, you know what I mean, for this particular video. So I was hoping that I could get cooperation. It's nice to know that companies are willing to work with me. Also, people want me to do intuitive readings to make money on YouTube, and yes, I am willing to do that. Actually, I even post that I do charge $30 to do intuitive readings. But if you want me to do more group readings, I need to know it. And the thing is that I'm not seeing any comments on my videos, and I know I have a lot of subscribers that I can't see. So if you want something specific, go ahead and write down a comment of what you want. If you want a personal reading, I can do that. Or if you want me to do your reading online, if you put something in the comment box and you say, hey, I want you to do a reading, for me online. I will not charge you for that because it's for everyone else's entertainment as well, right? So I will be willing to do that. You just need to communicate with me more. I want to thank you for meeting with me today. Have a wonderful day.